Hello and thank you for joining me. My name is Alan and today we're looking at how to stay online, i.e. have an internet connection, should you experience a power cut. Stay with me. In the event of a power cut, your internet goes off. That's quite obvious nowadays. I've not got full fibre, I've got, I think they call it fibre to the cabinet, so I just have a single modem stroke router that provides our broadband. So that's primarily what I'm going to be talking about. If you've got full fibre, it's still doable, but you'll need two of each of the items that I'm going to mention. As I said, problem is power goes out, internet's gone down. If you've got a battery power bank, the type that you use to keep your mobile phone charged up, then you are halfway there. It could be a little 10,000 milliamp hour, or a 20,000 milliamp hour. The larger the capacity, as in 10,000, 20,000, means that you will be able to power your internet for longer. Even the little diddy 10,000 milliamp hour should provide enough power to keep you running for around an hour and a half to an hour and 3/4. Bearing in mind that the UK average power cut duration is, I believe, less than 2 hours. If I'm wrong, there'll be text displayed across this screen. Or of course you could have a bigger power bank. This one is 27,000 milliamp hours and again will enable the internet to run longer. So we've established that you're going to need a power supply of sorts, and as I've said, most of us have a battery power bank to keep our phones topped up. What you do need to do is have a look on the back of your power bank and see if the information is there as to what voltages your device is, or your battery power bank is capable of providing. So we're looking at 5 volts, 9 volts, 10 volts, 12 volts, whatever. The information is either going to be on the back of the power bank, as you can see in these examples, or worst case scenario, you're going to have to visit your power bank's manufacturer's website and see if the information is there, or perhaps drop them a line. But you need to establish that. Most routers, my router, you need to check, runs off 12 volts DC. If you look at your power supply that powers your router now, unplug it, turn it over so you're looking at it, and it should say an output voltage, an output current, and also the configuration of the plug. You'll see the example in the picture. Once you've got that information, the output voltage and the output current, which in my case is 12 volts and 1.5 amps, then you can do a quick little bit of maths if it doesn't say the power on your power supply, and that is voltage times current. So 12 times 1.5 equals 18. That means that my modem stroke router draws or burns 18 watts of power. That's how you're going to determine how long or not your internet will stay on, depending on the size of your power bank. And there are some examples coming up on the screen now, and you can see the approximate run times for different sizes of power banks. To enable this to work, you need to buy, if you don't already have it, a lead. It is a boost lead, USB-C to a DC power plug. Caveat here, make sure that this plug is the same, not just physically to look at, but is the same as the one that comes out of your existing broadband power supply. And you need to make sure that they are both the same physical size wise and also the same configuration, as in my case, the outer connector that you can see is negative, the internal one within is positive. Then in the event of a power cut, unplug the power supply to your router, plug the USB-C end into your power bank, the DC end into your modem router. If your power bank doesn't automatically kick into life, press the on off button, and then that will power your router, and it should then go into reboot, and you'll get your flashing lights until it goes steady or whatever yours normally does, and you'll be back up and running with your Wi-Fi and internet. Obviously, if your property has Wi-Fi extenders, they're not going to be working. So the only signal that you're going to be getting is from your main router. So if you've got kids that rely on a Wi-Fi booster, then they may be out of luck unless they move their position within the house to somewhere that they can actually capture the signal coming from your main modem. I will put a link to this lead in the description, and with the power banks that I use, they're Inui, I think I'm pronouncing that right. They're very reasonably priced, fantastic quality, and provide the power needed to keep my router running. Whilst we're talking about power, this lead on the USB-C lead, as you can see in the picture, this will provide 12 volts, 5 amps. So this provides the correct voltage and will provide more current than my actual router requires. That's fine. Your lead though must be equal to or higher with the current, as in the amps that's listed. If your router uses 1.5 amps and you're using a lead that's only rated at 1 amp, then the lead can be burnt out because it's not going to be able to cope with the additional current draw from the router. Likewise, if your router isn't 12 volts, you need to make sure your lead is a corresponding voltage to what your router uses. You might, I don't know, have a 9 volt router at 1 amp, in which case the lead that you look for needs to be a 9 volt and minimum power supply of 1 amp. Ditto, going back on myself slightly, when we're looking at our power banks, the information on the back or on the manufacturer's website, as I displayed earlier in the video, will show how much current this can provide. It must be equal to or greater than the current that is required by your modem router. If it's less, then you're going to have problems. So just bear that in mind. It's okay to have more. It's not okay to have less when it comes to the current. Anyway, that's it, I think. For those with eagle eyes, you may have noticed, or at least your ears may have noticed, that my audio is perhaps better than usual, and perhaps even the quality of the video is better. I very recently upgraded my camera. I've got a new Sony, and I've gone for a dedicated mic system. My old camera only had a built-in mic that I couldn't do anything with. This one is more professional, and the microphone is a Bode, or is it Rode? Shows how much I know about cameras. Rode, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Rode, but either way, I hope that the experience from your end is a lot better than it normally is. I am waffling. If you enjoy the video, please give us one of those. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe, make the channel grow. And of course, I'd love to read your comments. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. See you soon.